But he pulls that out. He's like, holy shit, what is that? It's literally the footage of those guys who found a sunfish out near Boston.
Yeah.
Oh, Jay, that thing looks hurt, Jay. We're looking at a baby whale. It's that guy.
It really is.
Oh, look, baby wheel. It's a baby fucking wheel, man.
Hello and welcome back to the 205th episode of Good Bad or Bad Bad, show watch terrible movies tell you should too. I'm your host, Mr. Brian Chiligo, joined once again, and as always, by Mr. Kyle Hinton. Kyle, today, I don't even remember what we did last time, so we're just moving. What did we do last time?
We did shark exorcism.
Shark, oh God.
I will eat your flesh!
I've purged it from the memory banks, thankfully, because
right there with Camp Blood 8.
Yes. So yeah, but this time we're going in a different direction. You found a film,
Even more obscure auteur.
Indeed.
We'll see.
We shall see, Dave.
We will.
Exactly.
Maybe a new good bad cinema auteur, because this guy has made
Quite a few
movies, and I'm excited to check them out after this one. Today we're talking about the film Extraction Point. Whoa. So this film, that title sounds way more
intense than it actually is.
Yes, because the premise of this movie is insane, and I will read it momentarily. I copy pasted the synopsis
That's
from
awesome.
IMDb because it is utterly insane, and I will read it just to give people a little bit of context for what we're going to talk about. But first, let's talk a little bit about Franklin Correa, who is the writer, director, and star of this film.
This one was thrown to us from, I believe, Facebook.
Yeah, it was a recommendation.
They were like, you got to check out a Franklin Correa film. And I was like, all right, I'll look him up. This one was the lowest rated one.
Really?
Yes.
Interesting. I'll have to check out the others then. Maybe he's really got better, or I don't know where this falls in the timeline.
It's like in the middle
of
his work.
Okay.
Why don't you pick out somebody your own size?
So cliche. Now die.
But here's the thing. I love it for its good badness.
Yes.
But also, I'm like, for as cheap as this guy shoots this stuff, his action's not that bad.
The action,
Now, in comparison to other stuff we've seen,
sure,
it's not that bad. It's ridiculously horrible.
Yes.
But I'm like, holy crap, this guy actually, like, it can at least give screen direction to a fight scene and not have a bunch of confusing shots back to back to back.
Yes. That being said, it doesn't look very good because he's not a particularly good martial artist, so it all looks pretty crappy.
My border of that, what I'm judging it on, is my ability to follow the action,
and that's fair. I also think as a narrative overall, it's not like incoherent, I guess. Like, you kind of understand what's going on.
What the fuck is that, Rick? Nah, that can't be real, man.
Unlike our next episode, where I did not know what the fuck was happening at any given moment, but we'll get to that when we get to that. But it like, as a whole narrative, I mean, it's a film that dares to ask, what if E.T., instead of landing with a sweet little family, landed and was discovered by the most generic, stereotypical dude from Jersey you've ever seen? Who also does martial arts.
Yes.
That's the premise of this movie, and it's insane.
Oh my God. We'll get into them, but there's so many scenes in this where the accent is just so good,
dude. So let me read briefly the summary here from IMDb, just to give you a little bit of an understanding of where we're going with this story, in case what we're explaining doesn't make sense.
For good reason.
When a UFO is taken down by the government, making it crash, Neiman, played by Fareed Jamal Khan, is taken to a secret laboratory ran by Dr. Silva, played by Joe Bay, my favorite character in the entire film. We'll get to him. For anything and everything evil. Becoming close with Dr. Silva's assistant, Terry. By the way, none of this happens in the film.
No, this is all like precursor.
Before, yes, this all happens before we actually get to the movie. Becoming close with Dr. Silva's assistant, Terry, Tara London, she saves him from the laboratory and asks for the help of her friend Ricky, Anthony Castro, unknowing they are way out of their league. Not knowing what to do, they turn to Ricky's brother Jason, Franklin Correa, for help since Dr. Silva's agents ran by Agent Monroe, Valentin Montero, and his protege Agent Kelly, Brian C. King. Now it's a race against time to get Neiman safely to his extraction point.
Oh, that shit crazy, man. Listen, I promised Neiman I would get him home, all right? So that's what I'm gonna do.
You heard that right. It is about a dude from New Jersey trying to get an alien to an extraction point. It's insane. Let's just get into it. Opening credit production cards, Newark Films, letting you know right where this was filmed and takes place, right in New Jersey, baby. I'm right. Newark's in New Jersey, right? Not like an adjoining state that I got slightly wrong and said like 8 times in a row.
North of
continuously
Trenton.
wrong.
It's like not like right next to New York, but it's like a little bit further.
Yeah, it's pretty nearby. Are you good looking something up?
My mother called.
Oh.
Here, let me just message
make sure
her.
there's nothing amiss.
Anyways.
Perfect. So yeah, take Newark Films, nice New Jersey production company. I imagine is Franklin Correa's company, maybe. I don't know. And then we get the opening credits, which I love because I think they're trying to be Stranger Things credits based on the music and them being red. But it's just like 400-point Arial font with a white outer glow effect. And I don't know if that's
everything about like this. It just feels like Stranger Things on a budget. Like,
yes, starring again a drug dealer from New Jersey. Like,
I gotta go do a job. Let me handle my business, and then I have to get to your extraction point. All right?
I was thinking, going to this place with my girl, and then I found myself in the Upside Down. I was like, oh, what's up with this? Why is there an Upside Down in Newark?
It's great, dude. It's so good. And I love during the opening credits, one of the scenes we get, or one of the images we get, is a full screen picture. Like we get like some like images of like cryptids or something, because like and like a news report about like a crashed flying saucer or something. But one of my favorite moments is there's a picture of an alien that takes up the whole screen. And they put a big red circle around it, but if the alien's the only thing in the end, the red circle is serving no purpose. It's just a photo of an alien in the middle.
It's the Roswell alien, right?
I don't know. It's some generic alien, because there's like 2. There's one that looks more like the Bigfoot footage where it's like walking. And then there's one where it's just a close up of its head, and the only thing in the photo is the alien, but they still have a circle around it, like you need it pointed out to you. But then we get actually into the movie, and again, so supposedly this movie came out in 2021.
Shocking.
The cameras easily look like this from like the 2010s.
He's got a Sony Handycam from like 2012 or something.
Yeah, it's like the 2010s or early mid 2000s. It does not look like a film produced in 2021.
That's logic. I mean, that's logical. I mean, I can see that happening. Like, I'm sorry to hear about that, man.
But we're introduced, and there's this woman, and she has a backpack. She has a backpack, and she's in some park in New Jersey, and she calls somebody and is like, hey, I'm leaving this backpack here, can you come get it? And she drops his backpack behind this like monument thing or whatever, and then we cut, and I guess we're to assume that the guy got the backpack, because we cut and he's now in a different park, and he has a backpack.
He has it.
Oh, okay. I guess you couldn't get a single shot of him like showing up and getting. All right, fine.
Listen, it's Terry. Listen, they're on to me. Okay, I'm leaving the backpack at the Hook and Ladder, the place that we met last.
We see every other thing in such insane minutia in this movie, but we just leave out really important stuff sometimes. But he's getting chased. He's getting chased by the Men in Black. These are, I don't know what else to call them. They're the 2 government agents who are basically like MIB agents.
They're working for Dr. Silva.
Yes. Who's running like an alien lab or something like that. And so he's getting chased by these MIB guys, and then they get into a fight. and they're fighting, and he fights the second in command guy, which I don't know their different names, but there's two of them. One of them's like a taller, bigger guy.
It was Agent Kelly and Agent Monroe.
Yeah,
specifically.
And so he's fighting the second in command guy, and he ends up kicking that guy's ass.
Yeah,
and just beats him up. And then the other guy rolls in who's very serious and is like, I am the
the no nonsense.
The no nonsense one. And this other guy is like kind of a buffoon. And he's like, we have to get him. We have a 24-hour window, and that we can't lose.
We have a 24-hour window, and that we can't lose.
The acting is just,
and the writing, just everything. It immediately feels like an Alex Maisonette film, like so much. It's fantastic.
To this day, man, you know, it was 4 guys that shot at me. The sergeant started saying that it was 1 guy.
Yo, we got to get this extraction point. Yeah, this extraction point.
Yeah.
24 hours? Yeah.
24 hours. Yeah. It's just repeating. And there is a lot of repeating stuff because, again, it's one of those movies where you can tell they gave them some lines and some stuff to say.
The fun stuff?
You all right?
Yeah, I'm okay.
Sure?
Yeah. How are you?
I'm good if you're good.
Yeah, I'm good.
Is where the stuff that's very obvious where Franklin didn't give anybody anything to say,
and they just say,
and they're just like, yeah, just this is what we're going, and just kind of roll with it. Let's just see what the
yeah, we'll see.
We shall see, then.
We will.
Exactly.
Yeah, let's see where it goes. Just it would make it feel natural if you just repeat the same 4 words over and over again. If you just keep saying like, yeah, no, I hear you over and over again, like that's a really compelling dialogue in your film. Oh, it's so good.
Is it the same spot?
Yeah, you up the block, same spot all the time, baby.
As always.
As always.
But we hear him like talking to somebody, this guy with the backpack, and we don't know if he's like on the phone or something, and we'll find out later he's not, and we'll get to who he's talking to in just a moment. But I kept being like, who's he talking to? I don't know what's going on. Then we cut, and he's running. He gets away. We cut to Franklin Correa.
Yes,
his introduction.
He's in his apartment meditating.
He just wants to meditate, but his buddy shows up.
I find this hilarious. Yes. This was pretty funny.
Yeah.
Where he's like meditating, and then like the inner Jersey in him just explodes. He's like, somebody knocks at the door. He's like, oh, for fuck. Every time I try to meditate, somebody comes in and messes with my jam or whatever.
Yeah.
It opens. It's pretty funny.
It's so good.
God damn it. Fucking who the hell's knocking on my fucking door when I'm trying to goddamn meditate? Motherfucker.
So a guy shows up. It's one of his buddies. He's like, hey, I need you to, and he doesn't say what. He says, I need you to go pick up some package or something. I think the implication is they're like dealing drugs or something.
I love how Franklin's constantly running over his lines too.
Yes.
I need you to do a favor for me. I need you to pick up something for Steve.
All right, man.
There's so many times where you can tell where somebody, and especially in this scene, I noticed it, where somebody says a line. Like somebody will start saying a line, like person A will start saying a line, then person B will jump over them and say their line that's supposed to be a response to the first person's line before the first person says their line. So then the first person sits there and goes, wait, but I haven't said my line yet. So they repeat their line again, and then the second person repeats their line again. And I'm like, what are we doing? Yep. It's so awkward.
Dog, you know she's been gone 3 years, man. You know that.
3 years? That's a long time,
3 fucking years, man.
But yes, his buddy wants him to go pick up a package or do something. He needs to pick something up for him. Then we cut, and I got to know who this is. I don't know who he's talking to. The MIB guy. We cut to a shot like after we leave Franklin, and I just call him Franklin the whole time because I don't. Jason Jay, I think is his name. But we cut to the MIB guys, and
is it Jay?
I think it's Jason,
right.
And they call him Jay. Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
Okay.
And but we cut to the MIB guys just standing next to their car, and the main guy yells seemingly at the camera,
"You run, but you can't hide, bitch.
You can run, but you can't hide, bitch." And I'm like, who are you talking to? Like, they're in the middle of like a parking lot. I don't even, and then we cut. I don't know who he's talking to.
Whoa. That's just a term of endearment in Jersey. Didn't you know that?
That's true. He's just telling like anybody. This is a person walking down the street. It's just like a random passerby.
It's like that dude who was tased in Florida, and like the taser has very little effect on him, and he just looks at a woman and goes, "I'll get you, bitch."
I'll get you, bitch.
It's so insane. It's so weird. But But then, yes, I love. So then the
Ricky, I think, is the guy with the alien right now.
Yes, Ricky shows up at Franklin's apartment, at Jason's apartment, who is his brother, he says. And he shows him the alien. He opens the backpack.
he pulls out ET in a formaldehyde jar
in a leftover container. It's this little jar.
It's like a jar of Skippy that they emptied out.
Yeah, like literally. And then they filled it full of like water or goo or something, and put an alien that we will never get a very good look at because it doesn't look that good, I imagine.
Nope.
But it's this little rubber alien like in this jar, and he shows it to his brother. He's like, look, I found this alien. I got this alien. And then he goes, here's what you need to do. Rub this on your temple.
Whoa, you're missing the part where he goes the most extreme Jersey possible. Actually, this is just East Coast.
What the fuck is that, Rick? Nah, that can't be real, man.
But he pulls that out. He's like, "Holy shit! What is that?" It's literally the footage of that guy, those guys who found a sunfish out near Boston.
Yeah.
Oh, Jay, that thing looks hurt, Jay. We're looking at a baby whale. It's that guy.
It really is.
Oh, look, baby wheel. It's a baby fucking wheel, man.
He does freak out in the most Jersey way possible. But then after he regains his composure, his brother's like, "Here's what you need to do.
You have to stick your fingers into the jar and rub it onto your temples. Yeah.
Open it up and rub the goo on your temples." And so he goes, "All right, I guess I will."
Yeah, why not?
And he goes and dips his finger in and rubs it on his temple. He's like, "It's not doing anything." Oh, my brain! Oh! And he starts writhing around because the
Brian, I need you to take this container of radioactive waste and just rub it on your head.
Okay, why not? Oh,
he's got superpowers, psychic now.
Mayor West, you have lymphoma.
Oh my.
Probably from rolling around in that toxic waste.
But it like fuses with his brain and it allows him to hear the thoughts of the alien. So now the alien is psychically linked to him essentially.
Hello, Jason.
Oh, what? I hear fucking voices in my head, man.
I love at the end of this scene, he says, "Oh, don't worry. Everything's copacetic, man." Copacetic.
I don't feel nothing, man. Everything is copacetic, man.
That's not the word. Whatever. It's funny, though. So anyways, he's got the alien in his head now. And I love, too, just in the middle of this randomly, the alien, he's like, "Man, I need a drink." And the alien's like,
"Please, no alcohol. It will close your mind, and I won't be able to talk to you.
You cannot drink. If you drink, you will mess up the connection."
Alcohol, like dilute the connection stream.
Yeah, and the alien has I think a British accent, or he's doing
something. Yeah,
he's doing some strange stilted accents because I think they think that sounds like what an alien.
They
would
probably
sound
watched SG1 and they're like, just make him sound like Teal'c a little bit.
I cannot be certain you're back to being yourself. You refer to me as Lucy.
Yeah, it's amazing. Is that the guy with the he's got the spiral things or whatever? Yes, on his head. Yeah, he does sound like that guy a little bit. Yeah.
And it's dangerous for me just to be somewhere without communication.
But so his brother is like, "Okay, I need you to take the alien with you. I'm going to take a shower." And his brother's like, "Well, I got to go do this drug deal or whatever." And he's like, "That's fine. Just take the alien with you. Why? He goes, "Because the alien can't be alone." But I'm like, "But you're here. You can just keep the alien. You're just taking a shower." Whatever. But his brother can't keep him for some reason. So the Franklin's like, "Fine, I'll take him with me to my drug deal." And then as they're walking, they're leaving to go or whatever. And I love Franklin says out loud to himself, "Lord help me." And the alien responds, "No, my name is Nemo."
Lord help me.
No, my name is Nemo.
I know your name is not the Lord.
And he's like, "I know your name is not the Lord." It's really funny, actually. Then we cut to the MIB guys, and they're trying to hunt down the alien, obviously. They need to recapture the alien. And the main guy's talking about how he can, track pheromones.
Pheromones is a certain chemical that all living things give off, do they?
Yes. What is this?
He says Dr. Silva gave him super abilities so he can sniff out pheromones.
Is he Dr. Moreau? Is he like cross genetics him with like animals?
I don't know, man. What? I don't know, but he can sniff out pheromones.
And Dr. Silva gave me these gifts so I could detect these.
And he's like, that's why. And he's like shit talking his partner. He's like, that's why you suck. And that's why he didn't give you special abilities or whatever. But he can smell alien pheromones. So they got to hunt them down. And then I love we cut and Franklin is like walking down the street having a little conversation in his head with the alien, but we're doing the thing where he's he's just walking and he's answering the alien, but the timing is not perfect because he's just like pausing for as long as he thinks he needs to for the alien's response. So
because they didn't have somebody read the line.
I guess not. Yeah. So it kind of matches up, but not really.
I'm getting bad feelings.
What do you mean you're getting a bad feeling?
Something is not right.
And I love the alien's like explaining his backstory, and at one point in response, Franklin goes, "That's logic. I mean, that's logical."
That's logic. I mean, that's logical. I mean, I can see that happening.
That's logic. I mean, that's logical.
This is the part where we meet Gio.
Salverde.
Right?
Oh,
is it?
Who's Gio?
Wait, which one's Salverde?
Salverde is the crime boss with the terrible facial hair.
Okay. I thought his name was Gio for some reason.
I'm pretty sure it's Salverde is what they say. I thought, but
we'll look it up.
Gio Verde? Who's asking?
Anyway, this guy has the worst chin line beard.
It's so bad, dude. But this is the guy that Franklin was going to, Jason was going to meet for a deal or whatever.
He's supposed to be the biggest crime lord.
He's from Staten Island.
In the Newark Staten Island area.
Yeah. That's exactly it.
Who do you think runs Elizabethtown?
King Kong ain't got shit on me.
That's actually like a premise in the What We Do in the Shadows TV show. They're like trying to like take over their street in Staten Island or whatever and become like the top vampires in Staten Island. And it's like the same thing.
It's hilarious.
It's so good. But he basically talks to Franklin. He's like, look, I need to be cut in. I'm too big of a deal. You got to cut me in on your deals. This is my turf or whatever. Or
people
like
eat.
That.
I need to eat. I need a piece of that.
Yeah, exactly.
If I can't eat, no one can eat. I want in.
So I was like, whatever. Meanwhile, we cut back, and none of that really matters. It'll kind of become relevant later. But we cut back to the apartment, to Franklin's apartment, where his brother was taking a shower, and the MIB guys show up. And I love that his brother's like, I guess I'll just fight you guys again. Because
I kicked your ass once.
Yeah.
All right,
and he's like, well, you kicked my partner's ass, and he sucks.
Fucking took you on. I can take you on too. Come on.
But now you got to fight me, and the big guy fights him and immediately just breaks his neck.
Yeah.
Immediately breaks his neck. It's so good. I also love that they're just flailing around in this ugly ass living room. It's just so funny.
Their fighting range is like that tiny.
Yes, so they're just like slapping
whenever
each
they're
other.
fighting in buildings,
And, like,
it's
the hallways.
hilariously tiny.
Yes. Yeah, it's so cramped. It's so funny. But he breaks the brother's neck and kills him. Then the other guy, the guy who earlier asked Jason to make the drug run, I don't remember this guy's name, shows up. This big guy, who I called him Denim Dude because he just wore all denim in the whole movie. But he shows up and they knock him unconscious, and then
his eye just swells up immediately.
Yes, they knock, and it's the terrible makeup job.
Yeah.
They put like this terrible, like swollen shut eye on him. But then they interrogate him, and we're gonna lie over this quickly. But
there are no lines here. This was like, you don't know. Oh, you don't know.
Yes.
Who are you? What are you doing here? I don't even fucking know you.
So this is one of those where he's like, I don't know what you're talking about with the alien. And he's like, yes, you do. And he's like, I don't know what you're talking about with the alien. He's like, yes, you do. I don't know what you're talking. And this is that for like 10 minutes.
Where's the alien? Alien? What the fuck are you talking about?
But then, for some reason, and it never goes anywhere and means anything, the guy then rapes him.
You ever heard of breaking the buck? No, I don't know what the fuck are you talking about?
As part of the interrogation that will never come back or be addressed ever again. It's just like a thing that happens.
Brian, you're clearly unfamiliar with the MIB interrogation technique.
I guess, but also with all of their clothes on, like it's just the weirdest. I don't even know why you would put this. It makes no sense. And it's just like, okay. Especially for something, it's never addressed again. It's never mentioned again. It's very strange.
Not even you can help him. Nobody can.
But then Franklin gets home from his little drug meeting and finds his dead brother in his...
And it's just like, not even a payoff shot.
Whatever.
It's literally just a single shot of him opening the door and being like, I'll get them for you, Ricky. I'll get them for you.
He looks mildly upset that his brother's dead. He's like,
whoever this is gonna pay, I promise.
It took acting from like Steven Seagal.
Yeah. No, in that one movie. Yeah. But no, it's like the same reaction you'd have if you came home and like your dog like tore the trash up. You'd be like, oh man. It's like this reaction to his brother being dead. It's so fucking funny. Oh God.
Jesus, Lord, help me. Niman, I need your help, man.
And then, but he's like, I'll complete the mission, brother. Don't worry. And I don't know how he knows this, but he knows maybe the alien told him or something, but he knows he needs to take the alien to a specific park at a specific time so that it can phone home, jump back onto the spaceship and go home or whatever.
I'll be right here.
And so he's going and he meets up with Terry, the woman who stole the alien. And again, I only know all this because I read it in the IMDb synopsis. None of that's really mentioned in the movie. It all happens before we get to the film. But I love they're walking down the street talking, and the alien's like, I need you to, I'm losing energy. You need to dump some goo out
and fill it up with water.
Please drink some of the fluid from the jar and add a little bit of water.
Hold on.
Just regular bottled water.
Purified sparkling water. Kirkland brand from Costco.
He really legitimately is like, yeah, okay, now set me down. And then he sets him down, and then the woman gets a little bottle of water.
Don't want any of that DeSanti shit.
They just dump some of the goo on the sidewalk and then pour bottled water in, and that fixes the alien or whatever. It's so stupid. Oh my God. And then I love after he does that, the alien's like,
good. That's very noble of you, Jason.
Good. That's very noble of you. It's like, is it noble? He just dumped some water in your fucking jar. It's not okay, fine. Then I thought we were gonna set up a romance here, because then he's talking to Terry and they're like chit-chatting, and she's like, Jason, can I ask you something?
I never see you smile.
Why don't you smile?
Can I ask you something?
Yeah, sure.
How come you never smile?
You know, maybe someday you will see it.
Yeah, she's like, hopefully one day I get to see you smile.
Maybe one day you will.
Hopefully I get to see it one day.
You never know. I mean, things can happen.
And I was like, are we attempting a romance here? No, we are not. It will never go anywhere. Spoilers, we'll get to what happens to her character. It makes no sense. But so then they're walking down the street, and as they're walking down the street, Sal Verde, I guess they just walk right past him.
Yes.
He's just parked on the street there. They walk past him, and he's like, hey, that's that dude from earlier.
Yo, prick!
Pulls a gun with the most ridiculous looking suppressor on it.
It's got a suppressor. The suppressor looks like kind of like a suppressor. The gun looks like a space laser toy gun.
It was clearly like a Nerf gun that was like painted black.
Yes. It has like little like wings on it, and it's ridiculous looking. It's so stupid. But he pulls it out and he starts shooting at them, and just I thought he was gonna hit them, but no, he misses every shot.
And you think that we're gonna have a chasing because they're in a car,
right?
And they're out in the streets of Newark. So
where are they gonna go? They just run like a block over, and they're like, we lost them.
That was super easy, barely an inconvenience.
Yeah, we lost them. It's fine.
All right, hold on. I think we lost them.
We lost them. Then, Kyle, we are introduced to the best Silva, the best character in this movie.
Joseph, what's his name?
I don't know how to pronounce it. B-E-I.
This guy is incredible. So all the agents come together.
Yes.
Okay? We have 2 additional agents now, and they're talking about, like, we need to get this secured in this amount of time.
Yeah, we got to see.
So the boss doesn't know. And then the boss shows up.
What don't I need to know about?
Well, sir, what are you doing here?
The boss shows up. He just shuffles around into the shot, and it is this little man hunched over,
you know,
in a suit 4 sizes too big for him.
This guy reminds me of the doctor from the My 600-Pound Life. The guy
Oh, a
in
little
Texas,
bit. Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Who just shits on people.
Yes, I do. Yeah, he does kind of remind me of him a little bit.
It just reminds me of that dude.
I don't want to get malnourished either.
Do you look like you're malnourished?
To me, he just looked like a Tim and Eric character.
Yes.
Like he looks like 100%. A guy who would show up in one of their videos who's like, you don't know if he's in on the joke or not, or if they just found him and put him on camera. But he just sidles into the shot. His hair's blowing everywhere. He's hunched over, and again, his suit doesn't fit him. He's so funny, dude.
He's supposed to be intimidating?
Yes, he's supposed to be the big bad. He's like the guy running the shadowy organization that had the alien. He's supposed to be the scariest guy in the world. And he looks like the attorney in a sitcom that like is bad at his job.
This guy's not even a litigator. This guy is like a document attorney.
Yeah.
This is the kind of guy who's like, hey, we got those dockets for the next case or whatever.
Yeah.
And this is the guy who's like in the other
shovels
desk
and just like dropping papers everywhere as he like walks in. Yeah, I was thinking of he's the attorney for like the Bluth family and like Arrested Development. I'm the worst fucking attorneys. Like here he's like
Charlie's uncle, I think it is, attorney.
Yeah,
and Always Sunny was like, hey, can you put your hands in front of mine just to make them look a little bigger?
Yeah, it's so. I love him so much, and my note was he should be in every movie. He's perfect.
Was I speaking to you?
No, sir.
Then keep your mouth shut until I do, understood?
So anyways, he talks. He's like, we got to get the alien back. This is really important, blah, blah, blah.
My favorite part is he threatens the junior agent guy. And he says, you'll do this or I'll... And then he just starts muttering and trails off. And you don't know what the threat is. And you're just like, what the... Because you can't hear anything. They're outdoors. The wind's blowing.
Yeah, it's so good, dude. I love it so much.
What's the situation at hand? And don't lie to me or I'll have to take drastic measures.
Oh, God. Then, out of nowhere, we cut back to Sal Verde sitting in his car, and his second-in-command guy just walks up and goes, hey, boss, blam, 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 and then pulls a grenade out
and just throws it in there
and blows his car up. Completely out of nowhere.
No reason.
No mention before this that he was like unhappy with Sal Verde or anything.
I did look up this guy.
Oh, the guy who kills him? Yeah.
And he does a bunch of like superhero films.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I'll see if I can grab one.
Interesting. Yeah. But yeah, he murders this dude. And then he basically just calls somebody a second after that, and he's like, now I'm in charge. Basically, he just wanted to take the top dog job, so he killed his boss or whatever and took over.
You're not listening to me, man. I'm the king of fucking New York right now. All right?
Yeah, he just wanted to take over. It's so good. But then they're getting close to the park, but they have to go through this other park, I guess, to get there. And this is where the agents meet up to try to stop them. Yes. And I love they gather around the one new agent's car, and they're like, we need to gear up. And he's like, you got anything? He goes, oh yeah, I got some stuff. Opens the trunk.
Yes.
And what do you assume they're gonna get out, right?
Guns,
like badass, like assault rifles, sniper rifles, something, like big weapons and like cool shit.
I think Dr. Silva was like, no guns. We need to keep this quiet.
Okay.
No weapons?
I want this under the radar. Can't afford to have the local authorities getting in the way.
Sure, but even then, I don't know. You come up with
machete
something
or something,
or like those retractable like asp things. They're like the stun batons or something like that.
Yeah.
No, they pull out
a baseball bat
and a hammer.
A hammer. Yeah.
It's just like okay, those are your cool like government weapons. So he's like, oh, I got some stuff. It's a baseball bat.
The one dude who's like a foot shorter than everybody else.
Yes,
is like, I got my fist.
I don't need nothing, man. I got these.
He's like, I don't need weapons. I'm 5'4" and I got 2 fucking fists ready to go. Oh, it's God. Amazing. Oh God. Oh, that's right. He's like, so then they go and they get to him. And they approach him in the woods, and they're like, hey, you can't come through there. And my favorite moment maybe in the whole movie is Jason Franklin, the actor Franklin. They confront him and they're like, hey, you give us back that alien. And he turns around and looks at him and goes,
let's rock, motherfucker.
let's rock, motherfucker. And he like spins his fists. He like powers up his fists. He goes, let's rock, motherfucker. Yeah, so good. And he comes at him. And then we get just the greatest fight scene. Because Franklin fancies himself a fight choreographer and a martial artist. And he just does Wing Chun on these guys.
They're hand flailing. They're Steven Seagal style hand flailing.
Steven Seagal hand flailing. It's incredible.
Just unlike Steven Seagal, we don't have a lot of like extreme close-ups where we're clearly using a stunt double.
Yes, yeah. No, it's definitely Franklin Correa doing it. And he ends up snapping one of the guys' necks. I don't remember which one, but maybe the little guy or something. He snaps one of their necks. And I was like, how is there? Because at this point, there's like 30 minutes left in the movie, and this feels like the climax. Like the villains are fighting our heroes, like right before he goes to save the alien. And I think in the original script, this was the climax. And then we'll get to what happened is that they realized, oh, we're at like 40 minutes. We got to add some more stuff. But anyway, so he snaps one guy's neck. And then we move forward. And then go ahead.
For some reason, the junior agent now has the hammer.
Yeah.
And he runs into the crime dude out of nowhere.
Who just shows up and is there also to fight people for some reason. It's like, I'm here now. It's like, what?
This matchup's hilarious because like we had the matchup earlier with Ricky and this junior agent. And you know, comparable, they're relatively similar size. No, the guy who killed Sal, whatever. This dude is built like a lineman.
Oh yes, he's a gigantic man. He's like 6'5" and like 300 pounds or something.
And during this fight, he looks like he's holding a child.
Yes. Well, and then he is able to just get the hammer away from him.
And I was not expecting that was a prop hammer. That looks
so clearly a prop hammer though. It looks like a real hammer, but then once he starts wailing on his head with it, you're like, oh, okay, it's a rubber hammer.
When I saw that, I was like, holy shit. And then I was like, oh, it's a prop hammer.
Yeah, it's a rubber hammer. But he just beats his dude's head in with a rubber hammer.
It's funny.
It's so good. He falls over with like bright red fake blood all over his face. Kills that guy. Beats him to death with the hammer. It's good stuff. Then we cut back, and now Franklin, he got away with the alien, him and Terry, and they're getting to the park. And it's like, why they have to get to this one random tiny municipal park in the middle of Jersey? I don't know why this one little park is important, but it is. And because it's not even a big, it's like they're like surrounded on all sides by like houses. It's like a suburban tiny park. And they get there, and he like sets it's like traffic going down the street. He sets the alien in the middle of the field, and the alien's like, all right, now you got to back up. And they like back up like they just lit like a Roman candle or something. And they're like, all right, we got to get away.
You hold a Roman candle, Brian.
Yeah, well, whatever, yeah. Like they lit firecrackers or something.
Stand back. My people are arriving.
So are you saying for us to step back?
And
then the crime dude comes. I think his name's Lobo.
Yeah.
But he
really?
Yeah.
That's great.
He's the main man.
Yeah. But he shows up, and the alien, and right as he's showing up, the flying saucer breaks through the clouds and is like hovering in the air, and they're like, "Whoa!" And then the guy who killed Sal earlier shows up, and it's like,
I guess he thinks it's worth something, and that's why he wants.
He's like, I bet that's worth a lot of money. I'm gonna get it, and he tries to grab the alien.
Gets electrocuted.
Gets electrocuted by the alien, I guess.
I told you don't touch it.
Falls over, we see him, he's just like all burned up and to a crisp and just dies, I guess, just fucking dies. And then the alien just leaves. The alien like, whoop.
And then you think, oh, I guess the movie's over now.
Yeah, no, there's like 15 or 20 minutes left. I'm like, what else is there in the movie? So then Franklin goes home, and then that's when the main MIB guy shows up, the main big bad guy. He shows up, and again, they fight. There's still somehow 15 minutes in this movie. I don't understand how, but he does a bunch of little karate chops in his hallway on him. He's like,
yes. And then he gets the agent into a headlock, right?
Against the wall.
Yeah. He tore one of them bastards' eyes out.
Pops his eyeball out of his head, Kyle. And goes, bet you didn't see that coming.
Hey-o!
Bet you didn't see that coming, motherfucker.
It's so good. It's so good, dude. Oh, God. And then so he's able to kill that guy, and then his buddy Denim guy and his other buddies show up, and they're like, "Damn, Jay, today has been a crazy day."
Damn, Jay, today have been a crazy day.
The other guy is great because they need to get rid of the agent's body.
Yeah,
and so he just knows a pig farmer.
Yes.
That he calls
some like
up.
Russian gangster or something. Who's like,
he calls up a pig farmer and like, these pigs will eat anything. Yeah, bring the body over.
They're gonna put him through the wood chipper and then feed him to the pigs. Basically, is their plan.
How much? 250 pounds?
So then, the guy goes in and starts
carving the dude up with
in
a
the
serrated
bathtub.
bread knife.
Yeah, while singing a little song, singing the Hokey Pokey. It's insane, Kyle. It's insane.
That's what it's all about. Time to get cutting.
Oh, and then this makes no sense, and this is completely unmotivated, comes out of nowhere, and will never be resolved.
Our last surviving agent, right?
Yes, the guy who's driving Dr. Silva now. He's like the main last agent. He's the guy who gave them the weapons earlier out of the trunk.
Yeah.
He's driving Dr. Silva, and Terry calls Dr. Silva and it's like, I got the alien. The alien's gone. You failed. Like, whatever. She's like bragging to him, and she's like, and also something. She says some like thing, and he's like, what?
You're going where you belong.
Where is that exactly?
Hell.
And then the camera turns around, and the driver of the car
pulls his gun out and pops him in the head
and shoots Dr. Silva for some reason. He says like, I never liked you or something like that. It's like, what? Okay.
I never liked you, you piece of shit.
Then we cut, and Terry's in her car on the phone, and the driver pulls up
and pops
and
her.
shoots her. What is this guy's play? Like, who is he playing for, Kyle? Like, love of the game?
You know what the Lobo guy did? He's knocking out everybody, so he's the only top dog.
I guess he just kills everyone. It makes no sense.
I haven't seen you in a while. You piece of shit.
I don't understand it. But then he needs to get Franklin Korea.
Well, because Franklin Korea is like, hey, I need to tie up all this stuff, and we got people who are like still around and whatever.
Yeah.
What's the easiest way to tie up people's narrative? I don't know, just kill them.
Yeah, I guess that is true. Just do like The Departed and just kill everybody at the end. But Franklin Korea has his brother's brother's body cremated.
Yeah,
and he wants to take the
Florida.
Yes, down to the Gulf, the southern Florida, because that's where his brother wanted his ashes scattered.
I'm gonna take his ashes down to South Florida. He always wanted to be scattered down there in the ocean.
And so he's going to go down there, but he goes to the subway. And meanwhile, the driver guy who killed everybody has hired another hitman.
This guy is fun. I love this guy.
Yeah, this guy's fantastic.
He gets the call and he's like, I'm going to get to kill someone.
I get to kill somebody.
Driving around in his Fiat 500, his little like
with his leather gloves.
Yeah, it's so good. Anyway, so he's driving his little Fiat around 500, and this is where I could tell we were stretching for time because we just watch him drive around for like several minutes. Then we watch him walk into the subway station for several minutes. Then we watch. And it's just like, okay, we're just. They realize we got to we got to drag this out.
I'm assuming because this was on Tubi that we watched it.
Yeah,
I'm assuming Tubi has a minimum
of
like features.
Well, yeah, of like 110 or something. I don't know. Yeah. They have some minimum, and so they just kind of like kept adding time to try to get it to an actual like almost a feature length runtime, and it's still not. The movie's like 116.
I could probably put pseudos up there.
Honestly, you probably could.
What gave you the idea of lighting a blunt with a gunshot?
I saw it in a movie, all right?
Oh my God. Jesus. I can't believe you made it into adulthood, man.
Well, what can I say? I like to live dangerously, all right?
But yeah, we just stand there forever watching like nothing happen. But anyway, so he finally gets him and he confronts Jason, and he pulls out a knife and he's like, well, I'm gonna get you. Or I think Franklin.
No, he's been told specifically, I can't kill you.
Yes.
I was told not to kill you. But I'm gonna take you some,
yeah,
make you wish you were dead.
I was ordered to bring you into quarantine, so step this way.
Yeah, but he has a knife, even though he can't kill him. He's still holding a knife, and they start fighting. And of course, Franklin once again is just a superior fighter to everybody. This super specialized hitman that they hired just to capture him.
Didn't you know that rubbing alien goo on your brain will make you stronger.
That is
or whatever.
true. That is probably what happened, actually.
Yeah.
So he's just able to beat up everybody. He punches this guy. He dislocates his shoulder, and then after he guy relocates his shoulder and comes at him, and then he just punches his nose into his brain and murders him.
Dead.
And that guy falls over and starts bleeding everywhere. And he's like, I told you, I'm not going anywhere.
I told you, I'm not going anywhere. Fuck.
And then we get a little voiceover. Attention, all government agencies. There's an APB out on Jason, whatever Franklin Korea's name is.
It's like we're trying to go Jason Bourne for a second.
It really is, because then we get his voiceover, and it's the final line of the movie.
I told you, I ain't going anywhere. If you want me, come get me.
I told you, I ain't going anywhere. If you want me, come get me.
Oh, boy.
It's like, what are we doing here? Okay. But then that's the end of the movie.
We get some long credits.
Yeah, well, I love what it opens up. I was like, that's nice. He dedicated this movie to like two random people who died like 20 years ago.
One of them was both the agents, both the main agent and main junior agent guys, those were producers for the film as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I think one of them, I think it was like
their parent or something. Yeah. Okay, that would make sense. Yeah. But yeah, they dedicated to a couple of people. And then because the movie is still not 20 minutes or still not long enough, I love their strategy for the credits, which is that we give every single individual person in the film their own individual title card and hold it for like 15 seconds. It's like the credits at the end of the movie are like 15 minutes long.
We're in Jezebel territory.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Oh my God. But yeah, and that's the end. And Kyle, this movie's good bad. It's absolutely
it's so
good bad. And we have to watch
Dr.
more.
Silva alone is worth the price of admission.
What's the situation at hand? And don't lie to me or I'll have to drastic measures.
Well, and honestly, not to sell him short, but the auteur, Franklin Korea himself.
It's so much fun.
I can't get over the premise of, okay, what if we basically made E.T. kind of, except instead of kids, it's just this guy.
It's a bunch of Jerseyites.
Yeah, it's just this Jersey guy who also does karate. It's incredible. It's incredible. It's so funny. It's so short, which is I love a nice short movie. It really is only a little boring at the end when they're clearly like padding time. You can tell they're just adding shit, but like all the way up until the end, it's like nonstop action. And it's ridiculous. It's all like terrible sound, terrible everything. Shot composition is always terrible.
It is a perfect combination of everything that could go wrong.
Yes.
And it just kind of works.
Yeah, it's brilliant. It's brilliant.
For the purposes of what we do.
Yes, it is. It is very, very similar to something like an Alex Maisonette film, and it's like energy and the type of production it is. It's fantastic, and I love it. That's gonna do it for this episode. As always, you can do us a giant favor by heading over to patreon.com/GBorBB. Support us there, get access to bonus content at the $5 a month level, where every month we put out a bonus short. We just did an episode on a World of Warcraft documentary. This month we're about to record our short, which is on cane toads
in Australia.
When I'm driving the car, I have no hesitation of running over them whatsoever.
It's a very fascinating documentary. Well, it's just like whoever made that documentary, I got to figure out who directed it, because they like surely went on to do some interesting stuff, because it's like a very fascinating documentary we'll be talking about this month. And every month we put out a new one of those. So go check all that stuff out on Patreon. I have a podcast called This Film Was It, where we're talking about movies that are based on books. When this episode's out, our most recent episode will have been V for Vendetta, which I am reading.
I did not know that was a book.
It's a graphic novel.
Oh, it's a graphic? Okay.
Yeah. Alan Moore graphic novel.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. He co-wrote it with somebody, but yeah. So yeah, that'll be our most recent episode when this one's out, because obviously it's the beginning of November, so hence the...
Remember.
Yeah. That's that. And I believe that's everything. You can also help us out. Go buy some merch. tpublic.com. Search for Good, Better, Bad, Bad. All the links and all of this stuff is in the description below. We really appreciate your support. As always, keep watching movies.
Especially Extraction Point. Or just any Franklin Korea film.
Well, we can't recommend any others, but we are going to start making our way through the catalog, baby, because this is a masterpiece.